you're somebody who is a travel nurse or a nurse in general, I want you to stop and listen to this video. This is pretty serious, and this may save your license in the future or keep you out of trouble and just prevent bad things from happening in the future. So listen up. As a traveler, you need to always double check, triple check, and just overall check everything that your techs do. Everything that your techs do. This is coming from a nurse who has been doing this for 8 years, traveling for 20 different hospitals. I've seen it all. And within the past year, this is not to bash techs because there are great ones out there, but I have had some very scary experiences because of my techs. One of the biggest things that I want to speak on specifically today, because I can give you examples for days, is if your hospital has EndoTool, Glucomander, whatever it may be that they call it at your place of employment, but basically it's whatever system you use when you have a patient on a continuous insulin drip, and every hour, 30 minutes, or whatever the algorithm tells you, you're checking the blood sugar and you're adjusting the insulin drip according to that. Now, I want to preface this by saying that this is a high intensity medication. I put insulin drips up there with like your propofol, your heparins. Like, bad things can happen if this thing is not controlled regularly. The first time I've ever used this, I was working at a hospital in Florida, Advent Health, and this was their policy because something bad happened. So the alarm goes off. It's on a timer. It's at the nurse's station. So the secretary hears it. You have 5 minutes to check the blood sugar. Within that 5 minutes, if you're not able to check the blood sugar, it goes to the tech, I believe. It goes to another nurse. It goes to the charge nurse. And within 15 minutes, if that blood sugar is not checked and the insulin is not adjusted, that is 15 minutes. There is a timer. It then goes to the CNO of the hospital. The CNO. It forwards to her personal cell phone. Why? Because something bad happened. I worked at another hospital where they just didn't give up. Okay. But because I've had that experience and I've seen in person what happens when this is not controlled, I don't play about that. The current hospital that I work at, their typical policy, of what I've been told when I got there, is that when your patient is on an hourly blood sugar check, you alternate between yourself and the tech. So you check it, then they check the next one. Absolutely not. Ever since I've been working there, and it's been about 3 months, and I've had a few of them, I tell my tech straight up, it's okay. Honey, it's okay. I don't need you to check my blood sugar. And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy at this place. But let me tell you, there are certain things, and I love my techs and I love my CNAs, but as a traveler, I feel like I've seen it all. And it is better. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm not going to bash. This is not about this. But there's certain things as a nurse, you should just take it upon yourself to just get it done. You know what I do? I set a timer on my phone for every hour and I check the blood sugar. And lo and behold, so last night I did that. I explained to the nurse because she was sitting behind me and she kind of was like, why are you doing all your blood sugars? I explained to her the situation. At 6:30 when we're leaving, the tech comes out the room and says, the patient in that room's blood sugar is 80. 80. And she's talking to the nurse behind me. And the nurse is like, huh? She's not answering. I'm telling her just to give the lady orange juice. I knew what patient she was talking about. The blood sugar check that she checked at 6 o'clock was not a blood sugar check. And guess what was her response? Oh, that's right. That person doesn't have blood sugar checks. Mind you, she had to do the 9 o'clock ones, the bedtime ones last night. So this is the person that I'm going to trust to check my blood sugars. She also is the person who makes up, temperatures. And she asks me whenever we get a new patient, should she wipe them down? Mind you, ma'am, you know what the policy is, that you need to wipe patients that come from another floor or come straight out of the ED with some type of wipe. Why are you asking me like it's your first day on the job? Come to find out she's been there for almost 2-3 years. Why are you asking me this? And now this is the person that I'm going to trust to help me regulate a high intensity medication that can kill a patient. The person who still doesn't know after 3 years that they are supposed to wipe down a new patient, a new admission. Okay, so next thing. As a traveler, I've been told before, well, you gotta let them do it. You gotta let them do it. So here's my take. This lady has been here for 3 years. All the other nurses talk about how incompetent she is. So who am I? Whom am I to come in there and change it? As a traveler, it's not my place. And I've had nurses, because everybody's a travel nurse now, that want to come in and they want to treat a travel assignment like it's their home-based assignment. And you got to realize that it's not. It's not. And in the context, like, your voice to a certain degree does not matter. Because if somebody has been doing this for years, the nurse is aware. I'm pretty sure the charge nurse is aware. Everybody's aware. So who are you as the traveler going to come on and change something? You're one person. In your ideal, perfect world, you think you're going to make a difference. But in the real world of nursing, now you got a target on your back. So what you have to do is you need to acclimate to the setting that you're in and move accordingly. Me personally, if I don't trust techs to do nothing. I just don't. In the back of my mind, I have to do everything, or I need to double check everything. Because after the third, fourth time that I've seen Foley's almost overflow and back up into my patient because I thought the tech was emptying the Foley's like they're supposed to. Or I check at 6 a.m. or 3 a.m. and realize that no vitals have been done. Blood sugars have been 400 since 9. Never told me. Bed alarms are taken off. Doors are being closed with the bed alarm off. They're disappearing. They're not doing things that I thought was in their job description. At some point, you just have to realize that it's now your responsibility. You have a license. And we can go back and forth on this, but I'm not going to fight. Sometimes you can't fight the system. You need to just accept it for what it is and keep it pushing. Protect yourself. Protect your patients. Protect your patients and then move accordingly. Because if this isn't safe, if this isn't working for you, then don't renew your assignment. This is a bit of a long tangent, but I feel like it's necessary. And if one person watches this today and they go to work and they start thinking differently, then I did my job. And I'm happy. So, with that being said, I'm going to go to work today. I've applied my Chanel hand lotion. Apparently, I've become notorious with hand lotions. This one is really, really good. Makes me feel really bougie before I go to work. And I'm going to put on my perfume because apparently I'm the perfume TikTok girl. And Tom Ford, Neroli, Portofino. That's the scent of the day. And I am going to make sure that my patients survive at least till 7:05 when I clock out. Love you guys. And I love nursing. I want everybody to stay alive.